Hi everyone, welcome back to the Keto Crafter. My name is Lori and I have been following a ketovore lifestyle for almost 2 years, about 1 year and 3/4. And I've lost 120 pounds. I've helped improve my health, a lot of health issues, and I'm glad to have you to join me on this journey. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe for more videos. Don't forget to like or unlike, it doesn't matter, however you feel. And please feel free to leave a comment, or if you have any questions or comments that you would like to just send to me personally, my email address is down below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So today I have some good news, especially if you have been keeping up with my progress after surgery. If you're new, I have hidradenitis suppurativa, and I had surgery July the 15th under my right arm. I'm sorry, I've got to introduce this because it's been a while since he's been in a video, but here's Loki, and he's a wiggle worm. But and he's doing great. He's almost 3 months, and he's very much still a puppy. So, but yeah, I had surgery July the 15th under the right arm. They basically removed my entire armpit, and so it's been a struggle. I had an infection that required IV antibiotics for 3 weeks. I take my last dose tonight, which I am excited about. And throughout this recovery process, I have suffered with a little bit of depression, and I had a lot of pain for a while. But I am very happy to report, I went to see Dr. Duke this morning. The wound looks excellent. For it to look this good, this soon after surgery, that proves, compared to my other surgeries that I've had, this proves that keto carnivore is the ultimate way to eat for any type of skin problems or autoimmune or autoinflammatory disease. I cannot recommend it enough. If I had known that I would heal this quickly after surgery, now mind you, it's not completely healed. I still have a ways to go. I still have to get the Theris skin grafts, which I could get them as early as next week. So I'm excited. The fact is that my last surgery up under the left arm took over a year, almost a year to heal. And I could be healed as early as Thanksgiving or Christmas. So I am thrilled. And there was some question about my blood work, but it turns out that it's just anemia. I'll probably have to have some iron infusions, but that's nothing new. I've had that before, so it's okay. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah. So, and by the way, this little guy is loving meat. He loves eggs. And he likes steak, yeah, and he loves bacon and chicken and basically anything. He's like a goat in a way, because he tries to eat everything, including my shirt. Would you please stop it? Behave, we're on camera. I know, but you've got to behave. See, you have to behave. Look at the camera. Okay, sorry. But other than that, I have been doing great. So I wanted to kind of get back on track with videos and talk less about my surgery and health and everything, since it's on the mend. But I wanted to talk about like chasing numbers, feeling like you have to lose a certain amount of weight by a certain amount of time. I know you're bored. I've got to take him back to my son because he's bored. Say goodbye, Loki. Now you'll be still? Seriously? It's very good to set goals. When I first started keto, I just knew that I wanted to lose weight. Well, actually, when I first started keto, I just thought, hey, I love chaffles. But then as I got more into really getting into keto, my goal was to lose weight. Then, of course, I started noticing an improvement in my fibromyalgia and my hidradenitis. I started noticing an improvement in my eczema. I noticed I had more energy. But I think that what I see on Instagram and what I see on Facebook and just the general thing is a lot of people, they talk about, hey, I want to lose weight. I think that a lot of us probably started this journey, most of us started this journey by wanting to lose weight. A lot of us didn't really think about the health benefits, just the little bonuses, and it shifts over time, especially if you're like me and had such a hard battle with health issues. But when you get to that point where you notice that the pounds are coming off consistently, but you're noticing that you're feeling better, you start getting more active, you start maybe educating yourself even further to understand more about the science behind ancestral eating, and just trying to improve here and there, tweaking every so often, or trying the protein sparing modified fast, or trying carb cycling. I know a lot of people do that. I can't. I've tried that and that did not go well. I think that we all set different goals. Weight loss, to feel better, to fit on an amusement park ride that you haven't been able to fit in before, to be able to walk down the street without, giving out, or to be able to go outside and get them, to be able to tie your shoes. Do not take tying your shoes for granted, because I couldn't tie my shoes for a long time and now I can, and I don't feel like I'm going to pass out afterwards. So that's a plus. But when you set a goal, oh, I want to lose 100 pounds in a year. Look, I have done it, but you have to understand that in my case, and I think a lot of people's cases, especially for those dealing with a lot of inflammation, there's a lot of fluid. And it's not necessarily fat loss so much as it is fluid loss, particularly in the first few months. I know that I had a big whoosh of about 20 pounds weight loss within like the first couple of months, and that's what really kept me motivated. But now I try to lose like a pound a week, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't lose anything. Sometimes even my weight may fluctuate up a couple of ounces. And sometimes I have gained as much as 2 pounds in a week. But then later on, it starts coming off. And it's very important not to let those little fluctuations get you down. Don't let that discourage you from keeping on this way of eating, whether it be keto, low carb, carnivore, or a combination of everything, which is what I do, is ketovore. I mainly eat meat, butter, cheese, eggs, and heavy cream. That's pretty much it. Every once in a while I have mushrooms or onions, peppers, sometimes cabbage or Brussels sprouts, because I do love those. But the fact is that I have really, especially with this going on right now, I am trying to focus on really eating a lot of protein. And I do feel that by increasing my protein and eating as much of it as possible, along with fat to keep me satiated, because if you just eat protein, for me anyway, it doesn't keep me as satiated as long as, say if I have a little bit of fat with it. So that's the reason why I love ribeyes, because ribeye steaks have a nice 1-to-1 protein to fat ratio, and it fills me up, and I can eat that and not feel like I have to have something sweet at the end of the meal, and it usually holds me till the next morning. I have been very, very, very careful about eating 2 to 3 meals a day during this time. Some people can intermittent fast, some people can't. Don't put pressure on yourself until you feel like you can do it. And take it slow. This isn't a race. You're doing the right thing. I promise you, you're doing the right thing. But sometimes you have to trust the process. You have to trust yourself. Believe in yourself, because you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And I know that you can do it. I have faith in you. Have faith in yourself. You have to. And you can do that simply by staying on course and trusting the process. It will happen. I promise you it'll happen. Yes, there's going to be a few hiccups. There's going to be, a couple of mountains that you've got to climb over. But if you just keep on track, I promise you it will happen. You don't have to have any special products. You don't have to take exogenous ketones. There's a place and a purpose for them. But if you're just doing this just to lose weight and just to improve things like maybe arthritis, or improve like gastrointestinal issues or acid reflux, you don't need special high-price supplements. You just don't. The only supplement that I honestly swear by at this point is collagen. And you don't have to buy the perfect keto collagen, although it is good. I won't say that it's not good. But if you're on a budget like me, it can get kind of pricey. That's the reason why I use preferred keto collagen. Does it taste as good as some of the perfect keto flavors? No. But price-wise, it's good enough for me, and I am noticing an improvement in my skin, in my nails, in my joints, and bones and skin. So just because you see a lot of promotions for perfect keto, or I know that I talk about Keto Chow all the time, and I love Keto Chow. I use it almost on a daily basis. But don't feel like you have to buy these things, okay? Yes, they have their place. They can help your journey. But you can do keto carnivore. Dr. Berry always says you can do keto successfully with hot dogs and mustard, and it's true. You can. So don't feel like you have to buy this, buy that, or do this or do that just because somebody else is. Because what works for me may not work for you. I am using this channel to share what is working for me. Feel free to try it, but that's not a guarantee that it's going to work for you. However, if you stick to it, it will work. You can find your own method. That's what's so wonderful about this way of eating, is that you can find the path that works best for you. I know some people that they can eat vegetables. They can eat, I know that some people have even found that they can add in a sweet potato every now and then. I gotta admit, I love sweet potatoes. So I would love to be able to do that. But the fact is that some people can do that and they still keep their inflammation down. They're still able to consistently lose weight. I'm not advocating for that, but some people do, and that's okay. That's not wrong. That's working for them. That's the beauty of this way of eating. You don't have to have a special high-price supplement to make it work. You don't have to take carb blockers. That is the dumbest thing in the world. I'm sorry. A carb blocker or a fat blocker, back several years ago, there was a product called Alli. It was A-L-L-I. It was sold in department stores everywhere, and retail stores. I took it, I lost 65 pounds. You couldn't go over 15 grams of fat a day. Otherwise you would have just terrible issues. And it worked. But the thing is that, we know now that fat's not the enemy. It's sugar, it's processed foods, it's grains, it's gluten. Don't fall for the gimmicks. Just because it has a keto label on it doesn't mean that it's keto friendly. It could still be inflammatory to you. Okay, take for instance my favorite product, Keto Chow. Some people simply can't use it. It has nothing to do with being able to afford it. Some people, it bothers their stomach, or it kicks up inflammation. There's something in it, that just might bother them, and they can't use it. So say what works for one person may not work for you, but keto, carnivore, ketovore, low carb, it does work. Better than anything I've ever tried, and I have tried just about everything. A ketone meter. Yes, they have their place. If you're a person that likes data, get one. I have a Keto Mojo. I haven't used it in months, but the thing is, it works nice. And the Keto Coach. One thing I do like about the Keto Mojo is that you can, check your blood sugar and your ketones. So if that's an issue, great. You may just want to get like a cheap blood sugar monitor, just to find out what spikes your insulin, because that's the whole point. You want to make sure that none of the food that you're eating is causing a spike in your blood sugar, because the more that you balance that out, the more consistent you're going to lose weight. Counting calories, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work for me. I find that by not tracking anything, and I mean I don't track anything, because I know that the foods that I'm eating are not high in carbs. I would estimate that my total carbs are half the time they're under 10 total grams per day. And there are some days when they're up to 35 total grams per day. But I don't find that doing that every once in a while, I don't find that it hurts me. There have been days where I'm sure I've gone, upwards of 50 total grams of carbs per day. But I try to keep at least, I try to keep the total carbs under 20 grams per day. And I don't do net carbs. I don't recommend net carbs because, as Joe and Rachel have said on Two Crazy Ketos, and several others have said, when you get into the net carbs, it can be tricky. I know Joe has said plenty of times how you can eat smart cakes all day long and still keep your total, your net carbs, under 20 grams. But the fact is that by doing total carbs, by counting that, if you're going to count something, then that will help you. But if you're just starting out, I have some recommendations. Starting out, I don't recommend that you track anything. I think by eliminating, first, no bread, no grains, no rice, no pasta. Take those out. The next week, and no sugar. If you have to have, like if you want sweet tea, I know sweet tea is very popular in the South, and some people up north like it too. Try to use Swerve, or use Lakanto, or stevia drops, or monk fruit for your sweetener. Try to get liquid sucralose. The little packets like Splenda and all, they have maltodextrin in it, or dextrose. You don't want that because that can cause insulin spikes, and not to mention that it's just not good for you. Maltodextrin is just not good for you. So try to stay away from it as much as possible. Some sweeteners like maltitol, they can cause a huge increase in your blood sugar, and that's not good for your body. It's not good for your organs. And mind you, I'm not a doctor. When I'm saying these things, it's stuff that I have learned from watching numerous videos by Dr. Rob Sawez, Dr. Saladino, Dr. Berg, Dr. Barry, Nurse Cindy, just everybody. I watch as much as I can. I try to educate myself because this is something that interests me. Your health should always interest you. Take pride in what you're doing, and you will succeed. Success is imminent. It's going to happen, because if you've made this decision, you're going to make progress, because you're going to stop making excuses. You know me, stop making excuses, start making progress. And that's my motto. It has turned into my mantra for everything. I was letting my pain control me. The past few weeks have been really, really hard. And I have such a wonderful support system with my family, and I have amazing friends, and most of them are you, because you've left comments and you've reached out and you've just made me feel all warm and fuzzy, but it's helped me, because it's kept me boosted up. And that's what you need. Find somebody, that'll boost you up and support your decision to go on this journey, and you will not fail. I promise you, you're not going to fail. You're going to make it. You're going to lose weight. You're going to feel better. You're going to live your life and enjoy all the wonderful things that life has to offer. And we've been blessed with so much, particularly right now, in the time of this virus that shall not be named. Please, and I know that things seem grim right now because it's getting ugly again, and I know that, politics and differences of opinion and, a lot of hate and a lot of violence in the world. But take comfort in the fact that there's things that we can't control. The only thing we can do is hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And for those of us that are spiritual, we can pray about it. For those that aren't spiritual, you can just have hope. Hope is not necessarily just a Christian thing. You can have hope. That's something that you can share with others. You don't have to make a religious thing out of it, or even a political thing out of it. You don't have to make a racial thing out of it or a gender thing out of it. You can be the best version of yourself, and you can encourage others. And I can't stress that enough. Let's all encourage one another. Don't tear others, apart. That's not going to accomplish anything. When you support each other, you can't fail. And you're not going to fail. I'm not going to fail. We're going to do this. We're going to overcome our challenges. And yes, we're going to continue to have challenges. Some people, they make slip-ups, and, sometimes churros enter the picture. Don't eat the churros. But, just acknowledge that, hey, I made a mistake, but I'm going to recover from it. I am going to move past it, and I'm going to get back on track, and I'm going to accomplish what my goals are. Set realistic goals. Don't put a time limit on it. You got time. Yes, relatively life is short, but, none of us are going to get out of it alive eventually, But the thing is that if we just focus on happiness, calm yourself. Don't stress out over stuff that you have no control over. You have control over making decisions that are in the now. Choose to eat the most nutritious food that you can afford. If you can't afford grass-fed, grass-finished beef, don't worry about it. It's not that important. I can't afford grass-fed, grass-finished. Have I had grass-fed, grass-finished? Of course I have. I've tried it. To be honest with you, what I did have, I didn't necessarily like it. I didn't like the taste. Obviously, I know that it's better, but I do like a little bit of grain-finished beef. Seems to have a better taste to the fat. For me, it tends to have more fat on it. But you have to do what works for you. And there's nothing wrong with it. Don't feel like you have to keep up with the Jones. I know that that's a saying down in the South. At least I guess it is. But the important thing is that you've made the decision to start this, and you're going to do well. I know that you can. And then if you can't, forgive yourself. You have to allow yourself some grace. And if you need support, there is a link down below to the Two Crazy Ketos family group, and it really is like a family. Haven't talked about it recently, but there's some wonderful people in that group. I don't have my own group because I'm so active in that one, or I try to be active as much as possible. And great group of people. There's no keto police, and it's a lot of sharing recipes, supporting each other, sharing non-scale victories. So go down below and share. It's a Facebook group, and you just join in, and you'll get the support that you need, and you can give support to others. And that's what this is about. You can make wonderful friends like I have, and I think that this is something that can help a lot of people. Keto works, carnivore works, low carb works. The question is, are you going to make excuses, or are you going to make progress? I'll see you in the next one. Have a great end of the week, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.